Hi everyone, Dr. Ed here from edformedus.com. Hope you're doing well and the interview season is going well for all of you. And just wanted to very quickly discuss one question that came up in one of the online practice interviews that I was doing. So the applicant asked me, how do I best answer the question from the program director if they ask, why did you choose to apply to our program? Now, this might be a way that the program really wants to understand your interest in the program, but also it might be looked at as an opportunity for you to show the program director or the faculty member that you have done your homework by researching about the program online as best as you can. Now, to come up with an answer for the question, why did you apply to our program? This is what I thought would be a good idea. So you might remember some time ago, I wrote this, made a report card that I was hoping applicants would fill out for themselves after every interview, so that they can keep track of what they liked about the program, what they didn't like. And I'm going to share that again here with you, and also put the link in the show notes. And I think that report card will be very useful to frame a very personalized and individualized answer to the question, why did you choose to apply to our program? So let's pull up that report card and try to understand how best to answer this question. All right, so this is the report card that I created. So when trying to answer why our program, I think location is key. Location is very important, and almost that's kind of the number one reason someone might choose to apply to a program. And so you would basically like to explain all the wonderful things about the location. Maybe it's the safety of the place. Maybe it's a big town, big city where you want to live in. So, for example, when I was interviewing, and at that time I was living in Atlanta with some friends, and at that time, Atlanta is a big city, of course, you know that. So if I were to go to a small program, I would say, hey, I've lived in a big city and I don't like the traffic and the commute time, so I would do well in a small program. That's what I would say to a program in a smaller town. And if I were to interview at a big city, I would say, hey, I've lived in Atlanta for so many months and I really like it. I like the city life. So I want to stay in a big city, and that's why I applied to your program. So you can kind of change your approach, when you talk to the program director. But location is kind of the most important reason anyone would choose to apply to a program. So try to discuss why you like that location. It might have to do with things like activities out there in that town. Maybe a lot of outdoor activities, maybe good restaurants. And also, if there is a nearest family members, if you have family in the town where you're applying, or a friend, make sure you tell that to the program director as one of the reasons why why you chose to apply to that program. Again, this is important because this will allow an easy transition into the residency, into the town, and also having support during residency. Other reasons that you can discuss with the program director or the faculty is the size of the program. So if the program size is small, you say, hey, I like a small program because I think it brings the residents together, it's more collegiality. And if it's a large program, then say, hey, I like a large program where, I get to meet so many other residents throughout the country, and I really like to learn the different styles, different approaches to a problem from them. So you have to like change your answer for every program, but that basically means that you need to know what is the size of their program, which is very easily available on the websites. Ratio of US medical graduates, international medical graduates, male, female. This is again very good. So if there's a very diverse resident population, you really want to bring that out and tell a program director that you like to be in a program that encourages diversity and inclusion. Type of visa sponsored, yes, it is important, but I really don't think that should be one of the reasons you should say to a program director as to why you apply to a program. You're not there to get a visa, you're there to become a very good doctor and who can practice independently. So just you need to talk more about why the residency program and the education and the clinical training is perfect for you. Fellowship opportunities is another thing that you can look on their website, and then you can, if you have a certain interest like pulmonary critical care or hem-onc, and if they do offer that fellowship, you can say, hey, this is why I chose to apply to this program. Social outings. So this is not sometimes not very easily available on the websites, but that's why every program has a Twitter account. And it'll be nice of you to go through their Twitter accounts a few days in advance and kind of know what activities are happening within between the residents. And for example, if this is a program where you really like that they're having if they're all meeting outside or having a get together, say that this you really like say that to the program director that you really like the fact that residents get along very well with each other, as evidenced by the activity on Twitter, and you saw some of the pictures and you really liked and the fact that the residents had a good way of handling the rigors of residency training and were there to help each other out. Research opportunities. So if someone is really into research, you will find out that especially if it's a big program, a university program that has a very good reputation, I'm sure you will find out that that there are very good research mentors. There's a whole biostatistics and resources available for you to do research. And if that's what you want to do, and if that's what the program has to offer, then do bring it up that's one of the reasons you applied to that program. Few other things you can say is, certainly if there are medical students in that program, say that you like to teach, and that's why you chose to apply to that program. So you would have the opportunity to teach medical students, because teaching is it's a passion of yours. Look again at the website or their Twitter accounts about if they are teaching point of care ultrasound, and that might be maybe the newer teaching styles or the newer learning point of care ultrasound, or even things like if a program has an academic half day, which is becoming more and more incorporated into every residency. Say that you like the fact that they have a dedicated academic half day. So you have to pick up these very individual aspects of a program and tell that to the program director as to why that residency program is perfect for you. Lastly, if there is something very interesting happening in that hospital, like TAVR, LVAD, or telemedicine, make sure you bring it to their attention, and how this will, being exposed to these newer ways of practicing medicine will make you a better physician. So in short, yes, there is going to be some homework needed on your part to review the features of a program before you do the actual interview. and their website, the Twitter account. You'll get almost all the information there, and make sure that you review this report card and try to see if you can come up with a very personalized, individualized answer as to why you chose to apply to that particular program. So I hope that was helpful for you. And again, don't hesitate to post any questions in the group. And I'm sure a lot of us, including me, will do our very best to answer your questions. Thank you very much and all the best. Bye now.